Well, how you doing, chat? How is everyone doing today? I just pick up my chat, and I hope it's working. I'm sure it is working. I did all kind of management to my chat to make sure that I can beat the people who are trying to censor my chat all the time. I mean, they try to censor my chat all the time, and I don't like it. So I'm utilizing my telephone via my computer, via my OSB. I mean, what I have here is a mess. So it might be a little slow. So I'm going to check on the output of the sound to double check. Let's see what we got. Let's see. I am mono and I am at 255 milliseconds behind the shot. So I think I should be okay there. There you go. So, what is it that I want to talk about? Well, I want to talk about many things, but m- uh, this weekend is a special day. It's a special day. And this special day is Memorial Day. We memorize or immortalize people who created the United States of America. And my family was involved in all these events that happened in the 1700s. My family, they were soldiers of the Spanish Empire, what they call the El Camino Español, of the way of the Spanish, that runs all the way from the Países Bajos, almost in Russia, or actually Russia in some places today, all the way into right here, Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia. And that is what I want to talk about. So let me go out here and see if I can find me Bernardo Conde de Galvez. Well, uh, Conde de Galvez. And it's with the C. Galvez, Galvez, EZ, mean son of Gald. That is a Visigothic name. Remember, all these people are Visigothic. We are Visigothics. We are no Latinos. It's a matter of fact that we took out the Latinos and took everything from them, and we created something beautiful. Bernardo Conde de Galvez, Spanish hero of the American Revolution. Well, he was not an Spanish hero from the American Revolution. Oh no, he was el Capitán General de Cuba. He was a Cuban, el Capitán General de Cuba, Reino de España. So he actually was a Cuban, literally a Cuban from la Capitanía General de Cuba, Reino de España. And people do not understand that. People believe uh, the Cubans are a different ethnic group. Cubans are in a specific ethnic group. The Cubans are something different, and they sing and dance merengue and cha cha cha, and all these sounds and all these crazy sounds. Well, it's not so. Being a Cuban is being an Iberian, being from a place, a European place. They came here, they arrived in the American continent, and they occupy this land. And they coexist with the Taino, with the Siboney, with the Awakai, and also with the African tribes, the very same seven uh, most important tribes of Africa. They are basically from the center of Africa. And that is who the Cubans are. The Cubans are a mix of ethnic groups. Cuba is the name of the geography, not the name of an identity. For example, they are Cubans, Catalans. Today, the independent movement of Catalonia was created by the Cubans, from the Kingdom of Spain. So you have to recondition yourself. It is not easy since the day that you were born. They are telling you that you are Americans, Americans, Mexicans, Venezuelans, Colombians, Panamanians, Salvadorians. I mean, all these names. But that is to condition your reflex so you can forget who you really are. So you can forget that all of you from Havana all the way to let's say Anchorage, Alaska, are Cubans because they were part of La Capitanía General de Cuba all the way until what I think it was 1846. No quote me on that. 18 something another. 1815 to 1846, all this movement around the American continent happens. Now remember, 1846, 1805, 1815, all these numbers that I'm giving you are part of the Napoleonic time. Napoleonic time. But Bernardo Conde de Galvez, he was not from that time. He was from the 1780s, from the 1770s, 60s, and 80s, all the way to the 1790s. He was at that time involved in the creation of the United States of America. So remember, the Cubans are the same people or the same political jurisdiction, the Kingdom of Spain, all the way from 1492 to 1898. And their geography was reduced, especially by Napoleon Bonaparte, that he was the man who sold that geography that did not belong to him to the United States of America. So that is what we are remembering today. We are remembering the the creation or the people who created the United States of America. Uh, so that is Bernardo Conde de Galvez.
They were part of the opening salvo of Spanish
Uh,
operations in North America. The skirmish on September 7th.
Let me make sure I take the voice out. This video is made by who is made by the history guy. The history guy. This history guy is very interesting because he's just repeating. The man just repeat. The history guy is a repeater. And he repeats what the English have taught him. North America, North America, the United States of North America, North America. But he will never mention to you that the Cubans are the one who created the United States of America and they named the continent America. And there is no such a thing as North America country or North America region. North America starts in latitude zero, Ecuador. So all these people right here, like the history guy, or the history something another, all these people are just just regurgitating crap. They will never tell you the reality because since the day they were born, they have been conditioned to read erroneous data and to create this delusionalism around the population of the United States of America. One example of that, Bernardo Conde de Galvez was a Cuban Capitán General de Cuba from the Kingdom of Spain. He was no white. He was no black. He was no some crazy guy that arrived out here as a pirate. So what the history guy is gonna say? He's a Spanish hero of the American Revolution. Well, that is completely erroneous. I mean, completely. That is a lie. So let's check it out. Let's see how the correct way to do it. Bernardo de Galvez. And he forgot to put Conde. Conde. Count. Count is a title, it's a mobiliary title. He's the Count of Galvez. Bernardo Conde de Galvez was a Spanish soldier. No, he was Capitán General de Cuba. Capitán General de Cuba, Kingdom of Spain. He's not a hero. He's a Capitán General de Cuba. Analyze this. This is a space they include today the United States of America. It was all the way from the Gulf of Mexico all the way into Canada, almost in Alaska. So that is who he really was. He was not a Spanish hero. No, he was the Capitán General de Cuba. Now, Spanish hero of the American Revolution. Huh? What a historic little words. Well, he was not creating the American Revolution. No. The correct way to say this is that he was created a, a new political jurisdiction separating the English colonies in the American continent from England. He was liberating, freeing the colonials, the English colonials, part of the English colonies in the United States of America, or creating the United States of America. He was separating the English from the American continent. So the condition historian that I call these guys white Ameriexes. They are really Polacos. They arrive here in the United States of America. They learn English, and now they just talk shit. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what are we trying to remember today, the reality. So he did not create an American revolution. He created an English revolution, separating England away from the American continent. So it was not an American revolution; it was an English revolution. Remember, a revolution also occurred against the Kingdom of Spain, including la Capitanía General de Cuba. So let's get the title and correctly say it. Bernardo Conde de Galvez was Capitán General or a general of the captaincy of Cuba, creating the United States of America. Creating the United States of America. So that is the correct way to say it. So, all you little historian guys, just keep repeating. Stop repeating. So now let's go ahead and find out who is one of my family members. His name was Esteban Rodriguez. And by the way, all Rodriguez are family. Rodriguez. Miro. Now, Miro, let me see right here. Esteban Rodriguez Miro, right here. Miro was also Capitán General de Cuba. Also Capitán General de Cuba. And he was based in what today is New Orleans. Remember, La Capitanía General de Cuba was in some at some point also changing the control from Havana all the way into Louisiana. But the main political where the geography was sitting, the seat of La Capitanía General de Cuba was in Havana. But sometimes for geographical advantages, the Capitán General de Cuba actually was in what today is the United States of America, in this case, New Orleans. Remember, the La Capitanía General de Cuba was all the way from the Gulf of Mexico all the way to Alaska, pretty much. When the Russians came in, they had to create misiones to keep them from coming south. So that is uh, what is his name? Esteban Rodriguez Miro. Now, Miro, the last name Miro is very important. Rodriguez is an important name, but Miro is extremely important because it does not means miro, observe. In Castilian, miro, yo miro, mean I am observing. But the name have nothing to do with observing anything. The name has all to do with kin miro. It's in a specific ethnic group that is called the Swabis. The Swabis, that they occupy what today is Galicia, where the Castros are coming from. Remember, all this is related to one another. So Esteban Rodriguez Miro was basically a tribal member of the Swabis. That is why his last name is Miro, and he also was a tribal member of the Visigotic, the Iberian Visigotics. Remember, this is Iberian Swabis and Iberian Visigotics, and they also have Iberian assassins, Iberian Romanos, Iberian. It's all kind of Iberians. Into this day, they're still there and continue to speak their languages and protect and defend their identity, their ethnic groups. And that is why today we have me in the United States of America. It's because we continue to protect those ethnic groups. And this ethnic group from the Iberia Peninsula, like Esteban Rodriguez Miro groups, are the one who free the colonials, the English colonials from England. They created the United States of America. It was not an American Revolution. So you must remember this. That is why we observe Memorial Day. It was not an American Revolution. It was an English Revolution in the American continent, freeing themselves from King George. And who is the people who make this happen, who brought in the cannons and the gunpowder and the shots? Well, those are the Cubans. Esteban Rodriguez Miro, Bernardo Conde de Galvez, Capitanes Generales de Cuba. And that is very important to remember. So remember, when all these history guy podcasts, all these things, all they want to do is to destroy you, to tell you they were racist, and they forced black women to cover their hair as a law, and they make you look evil, and they do all these things to destroy the reality. The reality is the Esteban Rodriguez Miro and the Kingdom of Spain. How can I say, stop slaveism before the United States of America did, or before the English did in in around the world. So as you see, the difference of the English and the Castilians and the French is tremendously differences. The English come in and destroy. They exterminate. That is the cleansing. That is what they did the best. They cleansed. They changed the culture. The the Spanish came in, or the Iberians came in, and they melted with the populations existing in whatever the place they were going. And that is extremely important to know, because until this day, we carry that way of doing business, if you will. Mr. Trump is conditioned by the English. Is a Scotsman from Scotland. The English went into Scotland and killed everybody, slave everybody, destroy everybody, eh, remove their identity, the Scottish identity from the Iberia Peninsula, the Middle family, the Suaves and the Celtus and the Iberians, remove that and made them a slave, where they don't even know today they are Scots and no English. And that you see that reflection today in Donald Trump trying to exterminate open concentration camps to put in there Aztecas, Mayas, and Incas, originals of the United States of America, originals of the American continent. But you see Esteban Rodriguez Miro, and you see Bernardo Conde de Galvez, and you see Juan de Galvez, and you see Francisco de Miranda, and you see all these all these people. Um, they marry intermarriage with the original population. They have children. They, to this day, they exist. I mean, Montezuma family is in Madrid, and they have the monuments in El Palacio Real of the queens and the kings of the Mexicas. So these people continue to exist as royalty. The same did the Spaniards in the American continent. They did not completely eradicated anyone. And you see this in today's, on this weekend's memories. To remember this, we remember the Seventh Cavalry. The Seventh Cavalry, they went into Little Bighorn to exterminate the originals, to corral them in the 1870s. In the 1870s, but they were corralling. They were trying to eradicate Geronimo, because they already have coexisted with people like Esteban Rodriguez Miro and Rodriguez for the past 400 years. So analyze what I'm talking about here. So you must remember this. So for you Polacos, they like to drink beer, and now are in the Supreme Court, and drink beer every weekend, and even write down the time that you drink your beer, and so you can remember it. And when somebody interview you in Congress, you can actually pull out a piece of paper and say, "I drink beer at 5 o'clock today, or 5 o'clock 10 years ago." You must remember, Polaco, that you are writing in a language that is not yours. That you are writing in the language that you are not yours, in the capital of the United States of America, because the Cubans create the conditions so you can do it. So now you coming from Poland, learn how to write in English, become a personality in the Supreme Court, put there by another crazy guy, the Fugatu, who created the United States of America and think he's white and everybody else is black, a human trafficker. They hang out with people like Jeffrey Epstein, and married to a woman the Jeffrey Epstein import into the United States of America. I think you better start remember who created the conditions so you can be a beer drinker and a repeater. So you can understand how much people suffer to separate the English colonials from England. And the American Revolution never existed. It's the English Revolution that they separated themselves from King George in the American continent. And it was not only 13 colonies. As a matter of fact, there were 14 colonies. Don't forget Belize, that they did not want to participate. And do not forget today the English are Americans too, as an American continent, from Canada to Chile. We all are Americans because the English to this day, they continue to have territories in the American continent. So remember, so when you go out there and smoke your marijuana and drink your cigarettes and throw your butts in the floor and call yourself whites and have no jobs and running around with car like crap and steal from people and break in and entry and look at the others as an inferior and a guy who actually painting your house and fixing your buildings and you look at them as inferiors. Well, those inferiors are the one that created the conditions so you can feel good, so you can drink your freaking beer and get fat and ugly, and eventually you will disappear because Esteban Rodriguez Miro's memory, Bernardo Conde de Galvez' memory, continue to exist and it will exist forever. And every year we will remember them in a holiday called Memorial Day in the United States of America. So I leave it like that. Saludos. And how can I say, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy yourselves. Go and drink your beer and go and read the signs posted all over the city of Galveston. And if you see an erroneous sign saying that he is an Spanish hero, go there and make sure that they change it. So it's a Bernardo Conde de Galvez was Capitán General de Cuba, founder of the United States of America, the one that fought for the colonials against England.